Typically, when you think of a $300,000 mistake, you either think of a Bentley, or maybe an Aston Martin, maybe a timeshare in Florida you never use. You don't think about your college degree as being a $300,000 mistake, but that is what I find myself in. The fact that 17, 18-year-old kids can take out $300,000 loans, basically have access to a mortgage right out of high school, and we just give it away like candy willy-nilly, no thoughts, no questions asked, no background check, no accreditation, makes you really wonder, what kind of system is this to begin with? I spent so much money trying to become an accountant, only to realize that I didn't want to do it at all. Obviously, I needed to become an accountant. I know, I needed it. This was my canon event to be the person I'm supposed to be. I get that. But the fact that it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to become an accountant should really show you that maybe this system is not, it's just not the most efficient one. Because I didn't become a doctor. I can't save people's lives. I can file your taxes, but I can't save your life. I didn't become an astronaut. I can't operate a spaceship and go into space to collect some moon rocks. I can't operate a plane, that's a very expensive piece of equipment. Doing people's taxes shouldn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can already hear somebody saying, oh, well, you could have gone to state school. I know I could have gone to state school, and I should have gone to state school. If it makes you feel any better, your boy's in community college and state school right now. And the fact that, this mistake, it's gonna take me a long time to pay this off. Because obviously I don't have $300,000. I ain't 17 anymore. The bank isn't just gonna give me another loan, It's they only give you one option. It's I don't know why, but you kind of have just this limited time window right out of high school to just access all these loans. And then after high school, they kind of the bank wisens up and realizes that they shouldn't give out loans to teenagers that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's weird because typically when you think of mistakes, you have, and this is one of the biggest consequences of my life. There's so many, I've lost years I'm never gonna get back. I'm never gonna get this back. You don't get your 20s back. You can't just, I take it back, take backsies or whatever kids use nowadays. College was something that it's an expensive mistake I made, but I think it's the only mistake I had to make to have grown, because if I had just started, working at Shake Shack first of all, there was barely even a Shake Shack right next to my house. The Shake Shack I worked at was built after I graduated, so I couldn't even flip burgers there. But even if I had started flipping burgers there, I would have been in the same messed up position I am in now. 7 years would have passed by. I still would be in these blue and white walls, and maybe I would have uploaded videos, but your boy would have been mad tired. Imagine flipping burgers and then having to upload a video after that. Well, actually, I've done that many a times, but I've done it with scooping rice. Your boy has scooped rice instead of flipped the burgers. So, I've made a career advancement from going from flipping to scooping. So, do I regret college? No, but was it a mistake? Yes, which sounds like a contradiction, and it is a contradiction. Up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left. That's life, Truth is lie, lies are truth. That's just how the universe works. I think the reason it was a mistake is because I just didn't know what I was doing. Your boy raw dogged higher education, and I came out with nothing to show for it. And the crazy part is, it's typically when you accomplish something, there should be something external. But if you see me on the street, you're not gonna see any. You're just gonna see a dude. You might grip your wallet a bit tighter because your boy's a little gangster. But you're not gonna see somebody that just has 6 years of regret with nothing to show, no job experience, nothing, a useless resume. You're just just gonna see some random person on the street. And I can't even give kids advice because thank good, politically, they're starting to shut down these loans. It's about time. They're starting to shut down these access to loans because nowadays kids can't even do what I did, which is, I think, a blessing in some ways because you're not gonna waste years trying to figure out, trying to find yourself, which is all just it's a lie. You don't find yourself. You kind of just do what you get accepted and then cope. And then if you're good at something, you just have the opportunity to excel in that. That's basically a career. That's basically how jobs, life, work, that's kind of how it works. Because with me, even if you because going to college, not going to college, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're lower middle class, lower class, if you're in the hood, if you're trying to make it out the hood, trying to make it out your mama's house, you're kind of in this hard position. Because yes, you could be a welder, you could work on heating and cooling, you could become an electrician, but your body's gonna give out. How many 50, 60-year-olds do you see, people with gray hair, they need their walker? How many boomers do you see that are electricians? Not that many. How many boomer accountant? Accounting is a boomer profession. That's what it is. It really should be called boom counting because it's just baby boomers filing people's taxes. And at the time, I just didn't know. I didn't know. It's funny, the biggest regret in my life, I didn't even know I was making it until it was all over, until I got the piece of paper. I actually had to finish accounting to realize how much I hated it. I did what I did. I can't take it back. It did shape to who I am today. I'm just such an upstanding, amazing individual. And accounting just brings out the best in people. It makes people so happy, so fun. It's not like when I used to file people's taxes, I worked with a bunch of functional alcoholics that were living from happy hour to happy hour. I have no idea what that's about. I think the thing is it's like college is so expensive. $300,000. Imagine that. Now, yes, of course, there's scholarships, loans, grants, I get it. But the fact that you're out here why not just give me the money up front and I invest it, I do this, I do that. Or, I go to Trump University, Hustlers University, and now Streamers University. Why not I just go to those universities? Why is it that I have to go to an accredited university? I gotta do this, and then the job doesn't even pay and the job doesn't even exist. So you spend all this money just for something that may not even exist. And that's kind of how mistakes go. You just, in the moment, they feel so right. In the moment, it feels, a mistake is a great decision in the present. That's what it is. A great decision without retrospect, without reflection. That's what a mistake is. Because after you've reflected, after you've done all these things, you realize that, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just taken a gap year. I should have just flipped the burgers because that's what it ended up doing anyways. And now I'm trying to figure out what's next because there's a limit to how much, your boy is not in the Krusty Krab. I'm going from SpongeBob to Squidward. Just, my outlook on life is going down, down, down. And we can't have this. This ain't a long-term solution. So hopefully the AI overlords let me program just enough to pay off my student loan and then I can figure out what's next because I have a feeling these AI, Skynet is going to take its revenge on me and it's not going to let me work this long enough. And YouTube is not going to, I'm just talking to, myself. So this isn't a financial, YouTube is not my retirement plan. I'm not putting my 401k in my account. This is just me documenting my thoughts and process of how I think and feel about and anything that's going on in the week. And while accounting and while college may have been a mistake, I think it's the mistakes that really define you because how you respond to your mistakes really show a lot about who you are as a person. It shows you that, at least I know the difference between a progressive and regressive tax. Even though I could have Googled it, just about everything I learned in my degree, I could have learned on Google. But, I gotta cope somehow. I gotta accept the fact that even though I wasted my time, there has to be some kind of lesson out of it. What that lesson is, that's gonna take a lifetime of reflection for me to figure out, but I wouldn't, that's what I was given and that's what I'm gonna do. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. We're on the road to 500. Hopefully by the end of July, I would have had 500 subscribers, which is such a huge blessing considering when I first started uploading again, I started with 47. So thank you if you made it this far. I can't thank you enough because I'm on a screen and you're on another screen or you're watching through a screen. But thank you so much. You guys have a great day and we'll see you soon.